Algebra 2 Honors Skills Practice. Flashcard 3. Rewrite expression using I. Skill Practice 2.6-12. The imaginary number I is a number such that I squared is equivalent to -1. And because no real number exists such that its square is equal to a negative number, the number I is not a part of the real number system. Therefore, it's imaginary. And the values of I to the n repeat after every 4 powers of I, okay? So I to the first power, or I, is equivalent to the square root of -1 for obvious reasons. I to the third power is equal to the negation of the square root of -1, or I squared times I, okay? I to the fourth is equal to -1, or negative radical -1 times radical -1, which really simplifies to 1, okay? All right. Okay, so what we're doing here is rewriting expressions that contain negative roots using I, okay? Our initial expression is 1 plus the square root of 4 minus the square root of -15 all over 3, okay? What you have to understand is that expressions with negative roots can be rewritten. And for any positive real number n, our n here would be 15 since this is our only negative. The principal square root of a negative number, -n, -15 is our negative n, is defined by the square root of -n is equivalent to I times n. So our task is to extract I out of -15, okay? And this looks a lot more complicated than it is. It's actually really simple. The way we're going to rewrite this expression is just by evaluating each term in the numerator first, okay? So we have 1 plus 2. We notice that 4 is a perfect square, so we can automatically make that 2. Minus, now what we do is we factor out a -1, or we factor out an I out of -15. So minus the square root of -1 times 15. Now we're going to simplify all over 3, okay? So we have 3 because we can combine our 1 and our 2, minus I times the square root of 15. Because 3 doesn't contain an I as well, we can't combine these two terms, okay? A real number can't be combined with an imaginary number. So this is still all over 3, but we notice that we have a 3 in the numerator, 3 in the denominator. What we can do is separate our terms in the expression. So 3 over 3 minus I times the square root of 15 over 3, or 1, because 3 over 3 is 1, minus the square root minus I times the square root of 15 over 3, okay? I might have misspoken somewhere over here, and if I did, I'm sorry. So this would be our final answer. 1 minus I times the square root of 15 over 3. All right? Okay.